Jesus, when he wrought the earth, did nothing of his own self. Absolutely nothing. And I want you to know that it doesn't mean that Jesus did not have the power to come to the earth and do things as he wants. He has it. If angels could leave the zone where God kept them and say, we are not staying there, if they had the power to do it, how much more Christ, who was born of God? That's to tell you, he had the power. But see, he said, I can of my own self do as I hear, I judge, and my judgment is righteous, because I do not seek my own will, but the will of the Father who sent me. So even we as human, God gave us will. So, and when you are now walking in your own will, he's not going to stop you. He's just going to watch you, and he's waiting for you in judgment. So the obedience of Jesus, don't think that his hands were tight. No, his hands were not tight. He had the ability to do things as he wanted. Let's see John chapter 6 verse 38. Jesus speaking again, he said, for I have come down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him who do what? Who sent me. If you remember last time I started this topic, we read where he says that Jesus was teaching them to pray. He said, when you pray, say, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. We say one of God's desire is that his will be done where? On earth. And the only person that can establish God's will on earth is who? Man. We humans. So if you don't establish the will of God where you are, God will not be known there. And that is God's desire. And you can see Jesus saying here that that's what I came for from heaven. He said, not to do my own will, but the will of him who sent me. So what is required for us as believers to respond to the Father's desire? I want you to know that the greatest enemy you have as a believer the day you come into Christ is not the devil. It's not Satan. I said it here last time. A lot of us used to think that Satan is a direct opposite of God. That is an insult, the highest order. He's not even opposition to God. Satan is not opposition to God. God placed him where he should be. So as long as God did not predetermine everything that happens on earth, but God predetermined that anything that happened will still happen under his will. Now let me explain it. If God say you will be a doctor to save life, and you choose to disobey God's will, wherever you turn out to become, God will still use you to meet his will in that way. But then it is not on his own terms, because on his own terms that was not what he wanted to be. So that Satan is where he is today, it still doesn't mean that God was overpowered. No. So he's still where God kept him. So the greatest enemy you have as a believer is what? Yourself. The greatest enemy we have as believers in our walk with God is ourselves.